Poem is based on a true story. It happened in Miami, Florida, January 3rd, 2002. Now, you had a couple. When this guy first met this woman, he loved her. He saw it was love at first sight, like they say Cupid, Romeo Juliet type story. I mean, he was the type, he would literally wash and drink her bath water. He was the type that laid the rose petals, led him to the bed, and once she got on the bed, it was made into a heart. He was that type of guy. He was the type to open up doors, hold umbrella. If he didn't have an umbrella, she'll walk on his sweater. That's the type of guy he was. He loved her to death. He would go sit while she got her mani and her petty. Great type of dude. Vice versa, she was the type. She would always cook his favorite meal. He loved, for some reason, smothered pork chops, cornbread, butter beans, and rice. She would cook it for him if he asked for it 20 times a day. She would sit there, watch the Miami Heat game. She hated basketball, but loved just being next to her man at the barber shop, watching him get his trim, loving it, happy that's her man. This is the type of woman she was. She would always go out there, help him do a tune-up on the car. She knew no idea how to do it. She didn't mind getting dirty and greasy. She would hold the worm and put it on the hook if it needed. Somehow, they lost communication with each other. That's like the basis of all relationship failures, communication. It happened to them, a young couple. They grew out of mind, out of sight. The house became lonely, dark. Wasn't a great place to be no more. They walked past each other as they didn't exist anymore, like two ghosts in the middle of the night. So eventually, we know what's going to happen. They moved on. Well, she moved on. One night she slid, got herself in a little trouble. She ain't let her slide on the rubber. Oh. But not knowing. Let's say a couple of months later, they broke up. She went her separate way with her slider. He eventually found him somewhere, somebody. 2 years later, they haven't spoken, heard from each other in that amount of time. He woke up one morning, found himself feeling kind of ill. Went to the doctors a couple of times, but they couldn't tell him anything. No prescription would help him. Finally, he said, let me get a checkup. He got an STD checkup and found out he had HIV positive. Bells going off in his head. In his eyes, he thinking kill, murder, all women. He said, let me start. I'm going to start. I can't go to my main woman first. Can't go to the woman who he with and he love right now. He can't have her thinking crazy if it's not her. He goes to the woman who he can only know he been with for so long. He goes to her. He can't get in contact with her cell phone number changed, but he remembers the mom now. He called the mom. How you doing, Miss Grace? Miss Grace said, how you doing, son? But her voice sound weak. So he asked, when the last time you heard from such and such? She says, honey, in a light whisper. She's not doing too well. She's in the hospital right now with maybe 12 hours to live. Silence goes through the phone. He asks us, what happened? She says, you're like family. I know only one tell nobody, but you're like family, son. She's HIV positive. She's dying, full-blown AIDS. Silence again. Switch goes off in the head. This time, he don't know what to do. It's dark inside his soul. He hangs up. He finds himself behind an abandoned church with a knife in his hand. He splits his wrist. Now, what's the moral to the story?